Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Benjamin for Lebanon Church, Waukegan. We here on another Sabbath day, a wonderful Sabbath, and we want to thank you for joining us. Today's message is He exercised all the power of the first beast. As I was saying earlier, before we hit the record button, we talked about the 200 beasts. Okay, this is what is message come. Why is 200 beasts so important? Because we live in the time of the 200 beasts. We live in this time now, and it is the beast that's going to influence our life. Well, according to the Bible, there ain't but two more bulls left. The United States close out. The paper power will come in, and then it's going to be a short time, and then Jesus is going to be back on earth. Well, that's what the Bible claims. So I want to make a clear note of showing you guys this. Now, that don't mean that Pastor Bridget know the exact day that Jesus is going to come on earth. I have no idea when it's going to happen. But what we are to do is to watch and look for the conditions in which God said things going to happen. And when you start seeing any condition pattern out, then you should be like Elijah, who saw that little bit of small cloud and took off running because he knew the rain was going to come. Or like Noah, when the rain came, he was already into safety. So that's some things that we need to understand that God have prepared for us throughout these times and things, so that we can be better equipped to handle and to do some of the things that's necessary for us to do as a Christian family. So let's get into it. I'm going to make my screen bigger here, and we're going to get into it tonight, tooth to two nails, and see can we figure out what God is saying here. All right, he shall exercise the power of the first beast, meaning we still talking about the two-horned beast. And so if he's going to exercise the power of the first beast before him, we need to have a clear definition of what the first beast before him, who he is, and what did he do. Because you can understand he's going to do, the 200 beast is going to pattern this beast. Let's go to Revelation 13, 11 to 13, 11 to where we stop here. Okay, read that. And I behold, another beast came out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. We talked about that last week. He reflected a lamb, or he tried to look like a lamb, but he spoke as a dragon. Remember what I'm saying to you. Confession warrant character. What are you really confessing? That is going to be your main character. I don't care how you try to look, but what is coming out your mouth is going to determine who you are, right? Because with the mouth, confession is made unto what? Salvation, okay? Then he said in 12, and he shall exercise the power of the first beast before him, and cause the earth and them that dwell in them to worship the first beast. Now, this is what he said. He's going to exercise all the power now. And then he's going to cause the earth and them which dwell within the earth to worship this first beast. So it just makes sense that we got to know who that first beast was, who deadly wound was healed. Now, we understand this first beast must had a deadly wound that was what? Healed. If you guys have been with me for some time, y'all already know who this first beast is. But let's get the correct information so that when you're out teaching or explaining to people, you will be able to give them a clear reference of what you got. And you can give them your reference point. So Revelation 13:10 reads like this here. 1 to 10. And I stood upon the sands of the sea and saw a what beast rose up out of the what sea. Now that's important. That beast gonna come up out of a what sea. Keep that in your mind. Having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now you're gonna see this 7 heads and 10 horns repeated in biblical history all over and over again. You're gonna go to the book of Daniel. You're gonna see it repeated over and over again. It's significant. So what we're gonna learn tonight is also what the 7 heads is and what the 10 horns is. And we're going to understand every time you see this beast come up out of the earth, it's going to be the same beast, and God is going to add a little to it. So, and upon his horns, 10 crowns. So this 10 horns also had what? 10 crowns. I mean, it's going to be 10 kingdoms involved here. And upon his head was a name, blasphemy. So we understand that this beast also going to do some what? Blaspheming. And the beast which you saw was like unto a what? Leopard. Now keep that in your mind. His feet was like unto a feet were as the feet of a what? Bear. His mouth as the mouth of a what? Lion. Now, so let me explain to you this here. Okay, in biblical history, this started in the book of Daniel. It started with a statue. It was a head of gold. Okay, that was Babylon. After Babylon came, that was Medo-Persia. And after Medo-Persia, that was the leopard, which was Greece. Okay, now pay attention to this. Now he gave it to you in reverse order. The leopard was Grecian. The bear with the teeth in his mouth was Median Persia, and the lion was Nebuchadnezzar from Babylon. Okay, now understand. So he's describing this beast because he's bringing it back into your picture. He's pulling this information out of Daniel here. Okay, and the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and his what authority. Okay, so now this beast, understand, that has something to do that the dragon is going to give him the power. Well, who is the dragon? Well, the dragon is what? Rome. I'm a hope to show you this in a good fashion tonight where you can clearly understand what God is saying. And I saw one of his head as it were what wounded to death. Now, what I want you to see in this here, right? This beast has multiple heads. Okay. Now, when we talk about the beast in Revelation, most people don't understand that this beast represents multiple powers. It's the devil doing things over time. And all of these beasts is included in that power. None of them really was sent by who? God. Okay. Now, he said one of his head was wounded to death. Now, he's going to specifically point out one of the beasts that they're there. And his deadly wound was what? Healed. Now, immediately he talks about Rome, which is the dragon. He talks about the lion, which is Babylon, the bear, which is what? Median Persia, and the leopard, which was what? Greece. Now, immediately he started talking about this here, and then he's going to start talking. He's going to hone in on the one that received the deadly wound. And all the world wonder after the what beast? They wonder after this beast, this this whole thing, this whole picture. Now you got to see this here. Revelation 13:4 reads like this here. And they worship the dragon. See, and who is the dragon? Let's say the dragon is Rome. Now I'll tell you again, I hope to prove it out, which gave power unto the what beast. Now Rome is going to give power unto this what beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war unto him. Now Jesus is getting ready to introduce a new beast into this picture here, because now Rome right now is getting ready to surrender his power unto someone else. Okay. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blaspheming, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. That 42 months is the same representation that we did earlier in the book when we did the teaching of Revelation. 1,260 days. That's what 42 months mean. If you calculate out to the year, it'll give you 1,260 days, a day for a year. That's where you get that from. So now God is clearly, he's going to identify all these things. Now what I'm hoping that God would do for us in his teaching is pull out all these different things. He's going to speak blasphemy. I'm hoping that God allow us to show you the blasphemy. Okay. And power was given to him for the 42 months. I'm hoping to do that in a separate teaching, so you can see all because it's just so much information that needs to come into this, so you can see this beast come into to clear picture that you can't even miss it. That's how he did it for me. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God. I'm hoping to do a teaching on that and show you how he did it. And blaspheme his what name and his what tabernacle. Now he didn't just blaspheme God, he also blasphemed the name. What name is he blaspheming? We learned this other day. He claimed himself to be the Son of God. So who is he blaspheming? Jesus. And his what tabernacle. So he's going to attack his what church. And so you got to understand that this beast here is something else. And them that dwell in heaven. You see, he already said that he above the Bible, he above the word. See, that's what he said. Let's go to 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the what saints. Now he's going to do what? He's going to make war with the saints, and I'm hoping to show you guys that, and to overcome them, and power is given to him over all what kindreds. Now listen what he said here. This is what I want you to pay attention to. I want you to pay attention to this word kindreds. Kindreds mean kinfolk. So he won't have power over all his kinfolk and tongues and nation. So this beast, he got power on not only all the ones that came up under him, but he got power over all tongues and over nation. So this beast is got to be some type of head of state. So you got to pay attention to it, because he's over a lot here. Okay. And all them that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name was not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, now listen what he said, let him hear. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that kills with the sword must be killed with the what sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the what saint. Now we understand that Jesus said he's going to make war with the saints, and so if he make war with the saint, God gonna make war with him. So this beast is going to be have to be clearly defined to a point. If you're going to do biblical history or biblical prophecy, we need to go in and break out all those things so that you can clearly understand what God is saying. So it won't be no shadow of doubt in your mind what God is saying. All right, Revelation 17:15 reads like this. He said unto me, the water which thou seest, which the whore sitteth. Now this beast came up out of the what? Sea. That's the water, right? Right? So he come up out of what? The sea. So this water that you see, they are what? Peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. So he come up out of a what? People. See? This is what God wants you to understand. All right, let's get into the book of Daniel. Let's go back so we can deal with what Daniel did. So Daniel was one of these type of people that he loved God. He was always sitting down studying, worshiping God, and trying to learn more about God. So when you get in that bubble where you spend this much time with God, then spiritual things start happening. So all of a sudden, Daniel had a what? Dream. He called it a night vision. Okay, let's see what Daniel's talking about. Revelation 17. Revelation 7, I'm sorry, 7 to 8. And after this, I saw in a night vision, which is a dream, behold, a fourth beast. Now, why is this so significant? Because in Daniel's lifetime, he saw three of the beasts exclusively. He saw, he saw Media and Persia, he saw Media Persia, and he saw Babylon, because he was carried away into Babylon. And Babylon.
We didn't hear it.
Say it again. Oh, okay. Okay.
When you were speaking about that, after I saw this vision.
Okay. Let me go back over 7 here. Now, I said, after this, he saw in the night vision. I said the night vision is a what? Dream. He had a dream. And behold, the fourth beast. Okay. Now, what I was saying is that in Daniel's time, okay, he was captured and carried away into Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar was the king. Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold. Okay. Daniel said it early into the book. Okay. So I don't want to go back this far. Then God came and told him that Darius was going to come in and take out Nebuchadnezzar, and then Media Persia became what? The ruler or the superpower of that time. It became the second beast. One more time. Is it breaking up?
Yep, it broke up again.
Okay. All right. Now, if it break up again, what we're going to do, keep going, then we're going to break it out into live discussion. We'll go into that and then go from there. So let me see, can I finish it up so we can get to a point where we don't have to worry about it. Okay. As I was saying, Daniel went into captivity in Babylon. Babylon fell to Media and Persia, and then God gave Daniel a vision that Greece was going to take over. And now Daniel's got back again with a vision, and all of a sudden the fourth beast appeared. Now this fourth beast was dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and he had great iron teeth, and he devoured and broke into pieces and stomped the residue with his feet. That meaning that Rome was going to come in, and he's going to be stronger than the other beasts. He's going to be stronger, and he was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. That means the other three. And he had what? 10 horns. Now understand, he's going to bring this Rome in. Rome didn't come by itself. He had 10 horns. Okay. Now, Daniel is going to say this here. I considered the horns, all 10 of them, because he was trying to figure out what these horns on this beast's head represent. And behold, there came among them another little horn. So he already started with 10 horns. And all of a sudden, now Daniel watching this beast, and another horn jumps up before him. Okay? Before whom the three first horns was what? Plucked out of the roots. Now 3 of these things, these kingdom is going to be taken out. So we need to understand that it started with 10. Now Daniel's saying there's another horn grow up, and that once the other horn get here, 3 horns are going to disappear. That's what I was saying. It was 10, 11 appeared, 3 was taken away, you had 8. I'm hoping to prove it out tonight. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a what man. So now he's letting you know that this horn is going to represent some type of what man. If you go back to last week, you understand that the title of the papal power is the is that vicar, meaning of the Son of God. And so he's going to constantly point to this as we get into prophecy. And the mouth speaking what? Great things. Now we understand that this beast is going to speak great things against God. So let's look at it here. Daniel 8 here. All right, if you look up on the screen there, you will see there go this beast here with all 11 of his horns. Okay. In the middle, you're going to see this horn look like it's got eyes. And this is what they was talking to you. All right. How you going to identify this horn? He's going to come up among them. So who is them? Them was Rome. He's going to come among Rome. Okay. And his kindred. Okay. He's going to go. He's going to come in after them that he come up against. Okay. He's going to be what? Different. Okay. He's going to uproot 3 horns. Okay. He's going to have mouth speaking great things. Okay. He's going to make war with the saints, and he's going to change times and what laws. Okay. And he's going to rule for 1,260 years. Ain't but one nation, a European nation, fit that description. That's the papal Rome, or the papal power, or the papacy. Okay. All right. Daniel 10 through 14 reads like this. Now, when God got done talking about this here, he's going to show Daniel something else. All right. Now, Jesus, when he normally speaks in prophecy and showing you something, he also began to appear in your dream or in prophecy. So you have to understand this here, right? Now, Jesus is going to suddenly burst up on the scene here after he showed Daniel this here, okay? A fiery scream issued and came forth from him. Thousands of thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, and the judgment was set, and the books was open. Now, between as the paper power and all these things are being transferred out from this beast until the transfer to the United States, there's something significant going to happen. Judgment was set. And so I'm hoping to teach you when judgment was set, because that's a separate teaching, because judgment didn't come about until in heaven. It started in the 1800s. So God began to do some things. And behold, then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spoke. Now this judgment is set because of what this horn is doing. So this horn, the deadly wound, the beast with the deadly wound and this horn is the same thing. Okay. And he said, behold, even to the I beheld, even to the beast was what slain. So we understand this, that deadly wound gonna be slain, and his body what destroyed, and given unto a what? The burning fire. We said that the beast, the false prophet, is going to be cast into the what? Fire last week. As concerning the rest of the beast, as concerning the rest of his kindreds, okay, listen, they had their what? Dominions taken away. Okay, so that means the United States among the kindreds, they're going to have their what? Dominions taken away. Yet they live, their lives, was prolonged for a what? Season and a what? Time. So God is going to give us a what? Season and a what? Time. Time in the biblical history is a what? Is a year. Okay, it's 360 days. Okay, so whenever this thing go down, it's going to be a very short time before all this here happen, when that transfer of power happen. Okay, I saw the night vision again, and behold, one like the Son of Man came unto the clouds of heaven, and came unto the what? Ancients of what days? What is the ancients of days? The ancients of days is us. Okay, and they brought him near before what? Him. Okay, and what did that mean, near before him? So when Jesus came in, what did they do? Who did they bring Jesus before? Pontius Pilate. Who was Pontius Pilate? He was the governor of what? Rome. Okay. And that was given dominion and glory and kingdom and peoples and nations and what? Languages. Because language shall what? Serve him, and his dominion is a what? Everlasting what? Dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not what? Be what? Destroyed. And this is what Jesus came down to ancient time. They brought him before Pontius Pilate, but God said his kingdom is going to live forever and ever. Now this is what he's going to do. Daniel saw all that. He saw Jesus coming down here. He saw what's going to happen. And then Daniel said this here. Daniel was grieved in my spirit, in the midst of my what? Body, and the vision of my what? Head troubled me. Daniel was very troubled by what he seen. Okay. And I came near unto one of them that stood by me, and I asked him the truth of this all, the truth of all this. And so he told me and made me to know the interpretation of the what thing. Now, here's the interpretation. The great beast, which are four kings. He's going to explain this. 4 kings, which shall rise out of the earth. Okay? But the saints of the Most High shall take the what kingdom? Now, who going to take the kingdom? Eventually, we're going to seize this what kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever, even forever and whatever. Then I wanted to know the truth of the fourth beast. Now, here's what I'm saying to you. He asked them, okay, well, who is this fourth beast? Why? Because the fourth beast wasn't there in Daniel's time. Fourth beast came, Daniel had passed on, which was diverse from all the other beasts which he had saw, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of what iron, and his nails of what brass, which devoured and broke to pieces and stomped the residue of with his what feet. See, that's the beast he was. Imperial Rome, pagan Rome, came before him. So this is what God told him. Now listen what he said about Rome. Okay, and of the 10 horns that was in his what head, and of the other which came up. Now we understand that when Rome came about, it was 10 of them. It was 10 nations, and then out of the 10 nations, something else appeared. Okay, and before whom 3 fell. Now, when this other one appeared, 3 of these nations fell. They was extinct, wiped out. Even the horn that had eyes. So we understand that the one that had eyes is going to do it, and a mouth that speak very great things, who looked was more stout than his fellows. So he's going to be more stronger than Rome was. So he's going to hold up a different position, a different perspective. And behold, and the same horns made war. That same horn, that little horn that came up, made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the ancient days came. Okay, and judgment was given unto the what saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the what kingdom. See, God is going to do something for us in the mix of all this here. So as we're looking at this little horn again, right? You need to understand this little horn is going to come up. And if you look around this little horn, he's going to pluck out 3 of them. Okay, so if you start with 10 nations, and if they destroy 3 nations, you have 7. If you add the one that popped up, you will have what now 8 nations left. And I'm hoping to show you that. I'm going to show you exactly who they are from old school to new school. You're going to understand it exactly how Pastor understands it tonight. Daniel 7:23. Then he said, the fourth beast shall be the 4th kingdom on earth. Now he's telling Daniel exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be the 4th kingdom. Who is that 4th kingdom? Pagan Rome. Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. Now, what made him so diverse? So you have to understand, when Rome came into his power, when Caesar and them conquered the world, one of the things that Caesar did was Caesar gave all the peoples they conquered citizenship. He made them all citizens of Rome. He took all these different tribes that they had conquered, and he gave them all citizenship. He brought all that European up under one what nation, okay? And he shall devour the whole earth, and that's what they did in their days. They devoured the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces. Now, here's what he said: and the 10 horns out of this kingdom. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom shall be what? 10 kings. It's going to be 10 kingdoms. Now he's telling you specifically of what they're going to be. That shall what? Arise. So it's going to 10 of them going to rise up out of this mess here. And another shall rise after them. So after the 10, that's going to be something else that come up in the mix of them. That's going to be, you'll see, the paper power. I'm going to make it clear to you tonight. And he shall be diverse from the first, meaning the 4th. When the paper power will come, he's going to be both a what? Religious power and a what? A military power. He's going to be both of them. So that's why he's going to be diverse from him, because it's going to be different. What did Rome do? Rome brought everybody under one umbrella. He gave them all citizenship. He made them all one nation. And what the paper power would do to make them diverse? He came in and he brought them all in up under religious umbrella. Those are the 2 different diverses. And he shall what? Speak great words against the Most High again, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to what? Change times and what laws. So why did the Sunday law get changed? Because he did it. The Bible says he was going to think to change what times and what laws. So all this has already been done. We ain't got to even look for it. And there shall be given unto him, given unto his hand until a what? Time and a half of what? A dividing of time. Time is a year. Another time is 360 days, and then a half a time would be half of that. If still equal up for the 42 months would be 1,260 days. He's saying the same thing. He's just explaining to you. It's going to be 10, and out of the 10, one going to come. All right, here we go here. Now, I do not know the names of some of these folks from the last days. I can say the Saxons. I can say the Visigoths. But if you look on the left side, you will see all the dramatic tribes as they came. The Hurleys, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths was wiped out. These are the three extinct that the paper power extinct. What you have left is the rest of them, which would be 7 of them, which would be German in our current times, the Swiss, the French, the Italians, English, the Portuguese, and the what? Spanish. These are all the descendants that come from Rome. These are the ones that they brought into the umbrella, and we are living in their time of the descendant. Is not all these people in power today? Does not all these kingdom exist today? They all exist. The Saxons is where United States come from. They come from the Saxon, the Anglo-Saxon descent. That's where they come from. That's exactly who they are. All these kings is in existence today. All of them. I don't care how you look at it. And these are what he was talking about among the Roman Empire here. Okay, these are all the ones that Caesar brought into that one umbrella. And these are all the ones that the paper power, his kinworms, and these are what we are mixed with. You're going to see how this is going to work. But the judgment shall sit. Okay, he's going to set a judgment. The judgment that he said earlier. And there shall take away his what? Dominions. And consume and destroy him until the what end. They're going to take it away from him. And they did. Okay. And the kingdom and the kingdom and dominions and the greatness of the kingdom upon the whole what heaven shall be given unto the peoples of the what? Saints of the most what? High, whose kingdom is everlasting what? Kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and be shall serve and what? Obey what? Him. See, God gonna bring it all back as he had promised before. All right, so let's get into that. I want to go through all that to show you the different things, because you need to understand that who these 10 kings are and who their descendants are, right? Because there's no such a nation called a Portuguese no more. You know, it's all called German, French, and all these. And all of them, when that kingdom was divided, had the opportunity to have some type of kick against humanity. What did the Germans do? They went after the Jews. What did the Americans do, which is the Anglo-Saxon, come from that English descent? And they took and enslaved blacks. All of them had slaves over the black, but they did all these different things that they gonna say. Now, have there been any history since he said that the first beast, this United States, the 200 beast, is going to exercise all the power of the first beast. We're in American history where the saints was persecuted by the hands of Americans. Every black people in history should understand that. What about the church in Alabama? Did not they burn them up when black people start serving and worshiping God, the God they claim? Oh, they persecuted them. They they burned crosses out in yards. They did all that. So he already tell you that he's going to exercise all the power of the first beast. We trying to wait till they do it now, but they've been doing it since we've been here. Okay, let's go. Let's do this here. Revelation 17, 7 to 11. And the angel said unto me, wherefore does thou marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the great woman. Now, who is the woman? The same as that beast, that little horn that came up, the same as the paper power, the same as this. The woman is a what? Church. Because it's going to end up being a what? Church. And the beast that carried her. So what beast was carrying this woman? See, which had what? 7 heads and 10 horns. That's the same beast. That's the same beast in Daniel. He had what? 7 heads and 10 horns. That's the same beast. The beast the beast that thou saw was, I mean, he was in power, okay, and is what not. So is the paper power in power now? Yes, because it gave him power. Why? What power he got? The papal power is not a regular church. He's a head of state. He got his own nation over there, right? Because he's of the what? Seven. So he's of that European nation, and he have power over all his kinfolk, don't he? Look at it. Swiss, the Spanish, all of them pay homage to him. He's their king. You just don't realize it. They all is up under this guy, okay? So he said he was and was not, okay? They took his power. Who took his power? Napoleon came in there and took him out. But then he said, he shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. The bottom pit is what? The earth. And go into positions. That means he's going to come back into full power again. And he's going to lead us into everlasting damnation. That's what prediction means. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose name were not written in the book from the foundation of the world. Who is these folk that was not written? Who's his kindred? Where they shall hold the beast that was and was not and yet is. So when he come back in the power, they're going to behold that he is. So that he was in full power. He lost it to Napoleon. They gave him his deadly wound healed. So he's healed, but he's not in full power now. But he's going to come back in. That means he yet is. Okay, let's see how this is going to work here. All right, Revelation 17:9 reads like this. Here's a mind which have wisdom. The seven heads is seven mountains, in which the woman sitteth on. Now, what seven mountains is this woman sitting on? He's sitting on what? German. He's sitting on Italy. He's sitting on the Swiss. He's sitting on the Spanish. Those are the seven heads. Okay? Now, there were seven kings. Five are what? Fallen. Which five kings has fallen? So the seven kings that come in here is the kingdom of, count it off with me, Babylon. Okay? It's the kingdom of Media and Persia, which is 2, is the kingdom of Greece, which is 3, is the kingdom of what? Rome, which is 4, and the kingdom of the papal power. So 5 of those folks have already filed. One is. Now, the one is the what? United States. He is the what? 6th kingdom. Okay? And the other is not yet come. So there's got to be something else coming after the United States. And when he come, he should contain a short space. Okay? Listen, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the what? 8, and is of the what? 7, goes into perdition. Now, all right, let's figure out what he's talking about here. Okay, all right, everybody look at the screen here. It's on your thing here, but I want to show it to you like I've been talking because you got to know what's going on here. The Herodites, the Vangols, the Ostrogoths, all was extinct by the papal power. Now, I'm going to prove that out in the great lengths, but I'm just going to tell you what we're doing now. After they were extinct, there were 7 beasts left. That is the beasts of the ones along here, the Franks, the Lombards, the Saxons, the Visigoths. All these beasts are the last remaining of that kingdom. It's only 7 left because 3 of them was taken away. When he said they are of the 8, he is the 8, meaning if the papal power came in because one other beast came up among them, so that gives you 8 beasts. He's of the 8. Okay, he's going to lead in perdition, and then God said that he's going to have power over all his kindred. He do have committed influence over Germany, over Swiss, over France, over Italy, the English, well, even the United States right now. He got great influence on all of Portuguese and Spain. Why? Because all of them are part of that what? Capital religion. The 8 is the Roman, the Roman, the papal Rome, the capital church, or the papacy. He's the 8 of them. See, that's what God means for him. That don't mean that it's going to be 8 beasts coming in there. That means that he's going to be riding on somebody else after a while. So the United States is going to exercise all the power of the beast. What did he do? He persecuted the saints. Okay? He changed laws and times. He did all these things that the Bible didn't say that they was going to do. That's what I want to show you. See, it's only when the Bible is talking about him, he's talking about the European nation. I don't care how you look at it. That's just what it is. And these are the peoples now living in our time. Okay? All right? These are the ones there. We have Germans now. We have Swiss now, French now. All these people is part of that mess way back then. So that's why I want to show you tonight. Now the Bible said that he is going to exercise all the power of the first beast before him. So we need to understand who we are, and it's going to always go back to the European nation. That's who he riding on. Okay, that's the paper power. That's the paper authorities. All these things that God is telling us. If you found this to be helpful, you ought to go to lebanonchurchwaukegan.org as we wrap it up tonight to get ready to go into live discussion. You will find a live broadcast tab. A drop down menu will appear. Please select on that Bible study menu and become a part of our church family. There you will get access to a lot of videos. You'll also get access to a live link where you can go live, which have been working too good lately, but we're hoping to try to fix this up here. Again, go to lebanonchurchwaukegan.org. Again, lebanonchurchwaukegan.org. Live broadcast tab, Bible study menu drop down. Sign up, get access to video teaching and a library, a free library, and a live link. May God bless each and every one of you as we get ready to prepare for our live discussion.